Because once you understand that the power that you have if you actually exercise the way that you present language and tone of voice and things like that, you really can manipulate people. And if you're doing it on a huge scale, if you've got a huge platform and you're doing it, I was about to mention Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson uses this device called a yes ladder, where he will start off
Wait, what is
monologue.
that? A yes ladder?
A yes ladder. It's also
Okay.
no, yeah. It's also got another name called. I'm trying to remember what it is. It's in my book. I'll have to go look it up. Um, but a yes ladder is where you basically get people to say yes in their head. So on any monologue, and there's lots of people who do this. Sean Hannity does it. Rachel Maddow does it. Bill Maher does it. It goes all the way back to ancient Greek rhetoric. But the idea is that you will start off any monologue that you've got with a half a dozen to a dozen things that the person watching you agrees with. That is, you're getting them to do this, right? For the first minute and a half or 2 minutes of whatever it is that you're saying. And the reason that it's so effective is that if you can get people to agree to things that you're saying a half a dozen to a dozen times, there's about an 80% chance that whatever you follow that up with, they're going to buy into. They're going to believe it. And so one of the ways that you can defend yourself against that is that if you're watching one of your favorite talking heads, is just count the number of times that you're saying yes in your head while they're talking. Because if you get to six or seven, then you realize that they're setting you up to buy whatever it is that they're selling. And that doesn't mean that they're lying, and it doesn't mean that they're not telling the truth, and it doesn't mean that they're bad guys. But if you can learn to recognize that kind of language that's being used, weaponized as it was, I mean, you call yourself weaponized news. This is the weaponization of news. If you learn the rhetorical or hypnotic rhetoric and hypnosis and persuasion are just three different ways of explaining or marketing or advertising. They're just different ways of explaining the same psychological phenomenon of using words and pictures and things like that in order to get people to reframe their realities.